Hey guys, Rochelle here with Amethyst Ascension. So today I want to do a video because this next year I am going to be doing a death practice, or well, starting right now. I've been reflecting on this for a few days and it just feels like it's got me thinking about death and how death has impacted my life. And so I was just doing this by myself, and I thought, you know what? Because this is something that I'm going to do, I'm just going to share it with. I shared it with a few people, and they were like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to do this too. And it really got them thinking. And I thought, well, okay, maybe other people might benefit from doing something like this also. So this is what I'm going to be doing over the next year. Let me get into it. This is like the introductory video. Okay, this is the first one. So I want to walk with you through something very tender, something that we all experience, and yet almost no one talks about it with honesty or reverence, and that is death. Not just the physical endings of life, but the many forms of death that brush against us as we move through this world. Because death is not only the final breath, it is change, it is transition, it is the moment that we realize that life is never going to return to what it was before. And in this particular Patreon space, I want us to explore the tapestries of death and the deaths that we have encountered. The visible ones, yes, but also the quiet, hidden ones that shape us just as deeply. So, we often think of death only as the loss of a person that we love, right? But if you look closely, we are touched by death countless times in a single lifetime. A friendship that dissolved quickly or quietly without a fight, just two souls drifting apart, a relationship that once held our whole heart, now only a lesson and an echo, a childhood idol or actor that we never met, whose absence still stirs something unexpected inside of us, a pet who carried our love and our secrets, who shaped our daily rituals just by existing, a version of ourselves that we no longer are, a dream that we once held that will never return. Death moves through our lives like a shadowed companion. Not cruel, not malicious, just honest. It whispers nothing is permanent. Everything is sacred, so pay attention. So we live in a society that hides death in the shadows, folds it away, tells us not to linger on it, as if silence could protect us, right? But the truth is that death is one of the most universal experiences that we share. It is the mirror that reveals what matters, a teacher that strips away illusion, a sacred threshold that we all cross, and that all those that we love will cross too. Talking about death doesn't bring darkness, it brings clarity, it brings gratitude, it brings connection to our past, to our memories, to our lineage, and to ourselves. Avoiding the topic doesn't protect us, embracing it transforms us. So, each person or being who passes through our lives, whether they stay a moment or a decade, leaves a thread. Some threads are bright, some are heavy, some are unfinished, and some are just simply beautiful. There are people whose deaths changed the shape of our hearts, people whose lives taught us something essential, animals whose silence held more love than any words ever could. Public figures who reflected our childhood, our dreams, our identity, even those that we barely knew, whose passing still shook something loose inside of us. All of them, every single one of them, became part of who we are. And this is the heart of the practice that I've been sitting with. What does it mean to be touched by death? And who have we become because of it? So instead of trying to understand death, what if we let death help us to understand life? So, ask yourself, what loss shaped me in ways that I'm only now discovering? What version of me ended with that moment? What wisdom did that ending give me? What memories still live in my bones, guiding me gently forward? What remains unspoken? What is ready to be honored, released, or transformed? These questions are invitations into a deeper relationship with your own story. Death becomes a guide here, not a wound. So, whether you believe in an afterlife, a spirit world, reincarnation, or simply the enduring memory that we carry, death does not sever the thread. The people and animals who touched our lives leave imprints in our habits, our values, our fears, our strengths, our tenderness, our boundaries, and our dreams. Sometimes the teachings of their deaths don't unfold for years. Sometimes they arrive suddenly, like a whisper in the dark. And sometimes, if we listen, we can feel them. Not gone, but simply shifted into a different form. There is power in naming our dead and remembering them and honoring the way that their presence or their absence sculpted who we are now. Remembering is an act of devotion, honoring is an act of love, and reflection is an act of courage. When we take time to look back, not with fear, but with reverence, we reclaim a part of ourselves. So in my own reflections, I've been working on something that I call touched by death. It's not about grief. It's about meaning. It's about integration. It's all about honoring the people, the animals, the endings, and the transitions that shaped my life. You're welcome to create your own list if you feel called. Everyone who has walked beside you, everyone who has left an imprint, everyone whose life or death changed you. The list becomes a map of your soul's evolution. And as the year unfolds, you can return to it. Write letters, reflect on lessons, offer remembrance, seek closure, or simply sit with the memory of the love that once was. Death is not the opposite of life. It is the companion of life. The shadow that makes the life meaningful, the echo that reminds us that love was real, the teacher that just walks just beside us or behind us, encouraging us to live more deeply, more honestly, and more consciously. If we let it, death becomes a guide, not towards fear, but towards awareness, towards gratitude, towards a more awakened existence. So today, I invite you to reflect, not on loss, but on impact, on the sacred way that each life touches another, on the beauty of remembering, on the wisdom hidden in endings, and on the tender truth that nothing truly leaves us. It simply transforms. So, I also wanted to, before we close up, I want to invite you into the very first practice of this journey, something simple but profoundly revealing. So I call it the map of the dead. But another way to think of it is a death constellation, a living, evolving map of souls, beings, and endings that have shaped the person that you've become. This isn't a traditional family tree. It isn't a chronological list. It's a soul map, a way of gently acknowledging all of the lives, all the relationships, all the transitions that have left an imprint on your spirit. So, what the map is, think of it as a constellation made of names, memories, and meanings. So each person, each animal, each ending, each moment that changed something inside of you becomes a star. Some will shine brightly, some will be heavy, some will sit quietly in the corner of your life story. Some will surprise you with how important they still feel. This map is not about grief, it's about connection. It's about honoring the sacred impact of the lives that have touched yours, even if only for a moment. So how to create your map. You can do this in a notebook, a journal, or a blank sheet of paper. Now, I'm personally probably going to do this in my digital planner. And as I create a star, I'm going to make each star linkable to its own page for a person, okay? Or an event, or because right now I'm going through an ending, right? A death in essence. But anyways, we'll get on with that. Some categories that you might want to consider are, um, or it says that you can start by writing your name in the center, then begin by adding the stars around you. It doesn't have to be all at once. It's not, they don't have to be perfect. This is not something that's done perfect. You know what I mean? It's not a specific color. It's all just done intuitively. You are intuiting this whole thing. And you know what? If you don't like how it turns out, the more that you go on, then start anew. But it's a beginning. It's a process. So some categories that you might consider are family members who have passed, friends who have left this world, or that you are no longer friends with. Beloved animals whose presence shaped your life, people who changed you but were not close, maybe teachers, mentors, acquaintances, public figures or childhood idols whose death stirred something inside, relationships that ended like a symbolic death, friendships that faded without closure, versions of yourself that you've shed over the years, dreams of chapters of life that came to an end. So let each name, each memory become a point or a light on your map, right? You don't have to fill it in all at once. This is something that you can build gently throughout the year. So what the map is going to reveal as you create it, you may notice certain things like patterns and themes and lessons, emotional threads, the way certain endings shaped your beliefs, the people whose echoes still guide your choices, the quiet, subtle losses that you've never truly acknowledged, the love that never left you, the strength that you gained from that, the wounds still asking for attention, and the gratitude that you didn't know that you still carried. This map becomes a mirror, one that reflects not death, but life lived fully, life profoundly touched, life transformed. And why does this matter? Well, when we honor these connections, we recognize that death is not a suffering, it is a teacher, it is a companion, a story that continues to influence our own. Creating this map is a way of saying, I remember, I honor the impact, I recognize what shaped me, I see where transformation occurred. And from that place, deeper reflection becomes possible. So my closing invitation to you is, before our next session, I invite you to start your own constellation. There's no rush, there's no right way or wrong way. This is purely for your soul, okay? Let this first map be gentle, let it be incomplete, let it evolve. And together, as this series unfolds, we'll explore how to interact with the map, how to reflect on these lives, how to honor them, how to receive their lessons, and how to let this practice guide us into a more awakened relationship with life itself. So I want to thank you for spending this time with me, and I hope you do this practice with me if you feel called to it. This is going to be a year-long practice. I've already got a plan of attack for the whole year. It's not, it might be one video once a month, right? But it might be very intense. It might be more involved depending on like how many people have impacted. I mean, I made a short list a few days ago, or a list. I can't say it's short, but it's got 25 people on there. I made a list of pets, and that has like 12, 13 pets on there. And I haven't even thought about other people that have impacted my life that have, or like lost relationships, or I haven't even gone there yet. So the way that death, actual death, touches our life is a profound thing, and it shapes us. So I also have put down, or will put down in the description in this video, a PDF called the Death Constellation Map worksheet for you. And there's some prompts in there also, but as time goes on, there's going to be spreads and all kinds of stuff where we're going to do actual workings with specific people, and you can anyways, we'll get into it as the year goes on. And I hope that you take this journey with me. Thank you for spending this time with me. And I am sending you my love always.